he has sucked ass for
I feel
years.
bad for people who suck.
Okay, fair. I mean, that's the way you want to go with it.
I pray for Greta Van Fleet every day, Pete.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
You see Schitt's Creek last night?
Schitt's Creek has been off the air.
Is it canceled?
This is not canceled, but they ended the show.
Oh, I saw Glow got canceled. The
Glow
Schitt's
did
Creek
get canceled.
thing, that was something people say.
It's true. I've said it before because I watched Schitt's Creek.
You said
I said, yeah, you see that Schitt's Creek? You seen it?
Although I do wonder, do people say that anymore? Do people say, like, did you... I feel like a very popular question when I was a kid was, like, did you see Seinfeld last night? Did you see Friends last night? Because we weren't living in this crazy world of having everything at our disposal. Seinfeld being on was like, that's just what you're doing. You're watching Seinfeld. So it was like, did you see Seinfeld last night? Or did you have hockey practice, or were you in trouble or something? Because those are the only reasons that you didn't see Seinfeld last night. I don't think that anyone's these days
think that you have to take away the last night qualifier. I think now it's more like, have you seen the most recent episode of this show?
You see the new Saul?
Right. You never put a specific time on it because people can just watch it whenever the hell they want to now.
Although we were pioneers in disrupting the "Did you see such and such last night" game, right? Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you didn't see that,
we
puppy
made sure
live,
you saw it. We made sure you had to see it.
If you didn't,
although by the way, I did just notice that one, The Walking Dead is still on TV, which blows my mind, and two, there's another Walking Dead spinoff that premiered this weekend.
I saw that and it made me think of Fear the Walking Dead. Would you mind touching your mic down just a bit? You're a little hotter than usual. And I ain't talking about those Warby Parkers.
Is this better? My mic is very touch and go.
Yeah, you sound quieter, but still a bit overmodulated. So weird.
That's really weird because
you said
out of a mixer thing.
Yeah, okay.
I've been having some issues going back and forth from the stream to podcasting. It's I don't know. We've been talking about upgrading the mic situation.
Yeah, I've been thinking of. I have a couple of different interfaces that I use, but one's just better than the other, and I want to have one that is just for computer work stream stuff, one that is just for music stuff, but just between space and everything else. I've been just racking my brain of how to make everything work and how to make everything fit. But yeah, we've talked about this on the stream. We could upgrade our mic situation if we wanted. It's just going to lead to a bit of a pain in the ass of us.
Well, I'm willing to pay the money, although it is very expensive. Right. And I guess the pain in the ass part of it is that I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Right. And it's a very it's probably the most fickle mic of
dynamic. I can't even
mics.
figure out this one clearly.
Right. It just needs a lot of love and attention and things that most typical either mixers or audio interfaces can't give it. So it's all right, over just using a mic, do we want to have this big ass headache? And I'll tell you what, just this conversation about a mic is probably a headache for
it's exhausting
listeners. Yeah, they're probably oh my God, I don't care.
You put out Vineyard Vines last week.
Sure did. Vineyard Vines.
How did that go?
Great smash success.
The memes that you were asking for in last episode. Let me tell you, You fucking got them, and way more than I bargained for.
Oh, yeah, they came through, and I feel weird. I slowed down on retweeting the memes because they were coming in fast and furious. So I slowed down on retweeting them, and I was like, all right, I'll just retweet like one of every 3 or something. And because I felt bad that there were all these coming in, and I was just spamming the hell out of people's timelines on Twitter. Like anyone who followed me and didn't have me muted was just getting nothing but Vineyard Nights memes retweeted. So I slowed down on retweeting them, and then naturally, I think that this would have slowed down anyway. Like the memes themselves slowed down, and I gotta say, I just want to say I'm missing memes these Vineyard Nights. I miss checking my Twitter and having like 6 or 7 new creative ones.
For somebody who's quite bad at like marketing themselves on Twitter, personally, your personal brand, you orchestrated a brilliant and extremely successful guerrilla marketing campaign.
Right? Yeah, that's I tweeted that before, like the day before it came out. Like, will Vineyard Nights be remembered for its legendary grassroots marketing campaign or for its songs? And then people made a couple memes about that, so that was kind of cool. But
the whole like naming all the songs Vineyard Nights opened up just a world of memes.
Yeah, and that's what was cool when they started making memes. I was like, this is cool that they're making memes without knowing anything about the songs. But really, all you needed to know is like, well, it seems like all these have the same name.
Right.
I know what jokes to make. I got that there's a Spider-Man pointing at another Spider-Man with Vineyard Nights written all over it.
Hell yeah.
And there's people liked the one of a guy sweating over pushing 2 buttons. I don't know what that's from. You know what meme that is?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's from. It looks like maybe it's from like an old like cartoon, maybe like the Fairly Odd Parents or something like that.
Maybe. I think
the meme though is like it's pushing one button. It's like sweating over pushing a button that makes a lot of sense, and then the second button is something that you shouldn't push that button, and the person is trying to decide which one to push.
Yeah, that one, because I would repost a bunch of them on Instagram, and that one got the most, this is the best one responses.
Really?
And I was like, this must be from something that I just don't get, because I think that was a great one, but there were some excellent ones. I don't understand the source material of 88% of memes.
Same. And then when you see it in the wild, you're like, huh, that's weird. It's not what I expected. It's a very strange feeling.
Yo, we had a good shitty NHL GIF meme during Celtics Heat Game 6 because they kept saying they kept saying hockey assist. Yeah. So it was when they say hockey assist in a basketball game, and it's just Leo wearing like a
smorgasbord of fucking like outdated NHL gear.
Right. Every hockey thing. Yeah, there was a Oilers poster that was like, who is it?
Ryan Whitney.
Yeah, it was like Jordan Eberle, like Ryan Whitney. All these guys.
While Leo's wearing a Penguins hat.
Yeah. And holding a little bat.
Oh yeah.
That was a pretty good shitty NHL GIF. I'll tell you, man, shitty NHL GIF is like catching its catching its breath right now. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's ready for more.
Hell yeah.
It's
going to spread its wings next year.
Oh yeah. Right. In season, I cannot wait for what shitty NHL GIF is going to be.
But especially because like it started in the playoffs where everybody's watching the same games. So like you post a shitty NHL GIF, mostly everybody's going to know what it's in reference to, sort of being like, okay, they're watching that game. But like when you've got a full slate of games going on every night and we're just posting about like the fucking Coyotes and like a third liner on the Coyotes.
Oh yeah.
People are going to be like, what?
I can't wait to do like a line change GIF. Oh man, we could do like shitty like graphics or whatever, like like going into tonight's slate of games, like here's who has like the best benefit of last change, like shit that like no one fucking cares about.
Advanced analytics,
right? And every now and then, just like retweet a because we follow enough like analytic-y hockey people. Every now and then, just retweet one of their tweets. So they're like, it has like a chart and like it's stuff about PDO and all this stuff. Just the straight retweet from shitty.
What we should do is we should start making like our own graphs and charts just about total nonsensical crap. Like basically steering into like the old school hockey, like anti-analytics
100%. The most important stat is hits.
We just do like a fucking intangibles graph.
Yes.
It's sort of like the like that stupid graphic that they put up during the Stanley Cup final game. Did you see that? With the hockey brain? And
yes.
It's like, what is this?
It was
like eating the same meal all over again.
You did a great shitty NHL give off of that, which was basically just taking the same thing, maybe change one or two words, and then just add a flashing drugs.
I basically did like a strobe effect, and then I just added drugs to it.
That was madness. Yeah, we should do like a we could do a either a stonk watch or a power rankings of intangibles, and last place is always going to be whatever team has Phil Kessel.
Yes.
Just so like, obviously we won't believe that, but just that classic old school stupid boys club mentality that exists in hockey. We'll murder that by leaning into it.
Speaking of the old boys club mentality, how about the NHL 21 rankings for defensemen?
Dude. I was
putting Drew Doughty as the best defenseman in the league. Fucking unbelievable.
People, I don't think anyone. I mean, I do. I don't think. I was gonna say I don't think anyone really likes Drew Doughty. They either can't stand how overrated he is, or they think he is the best hockey player in the league. Like they think. Like, I know people, won't name names, who I'm pretty sure if I was like McDavid or Doughty, you're starting a team tomorrow, they'd be like, "Oof, McDavid makes a lot." You know, like people love Drew Doughty. It's I mean, it's similar to like Jonathan Quick syndrome, where you're like, he's won. He's so good. And you're like, oh, he's won.
Most of them, I feel like everybody who loves Drew Doughty is either obviously a Kings fan from LA, or they are from Canada, because the Canadians fucking love what Drew Doughty was able to do for that gold medal team.
Yeah, but God, like I was gonna say, like sometimes, man, Canadian hockey minds, you just know right where they're going. You just know right where they're going.
Yeah, I mean, I like don't dislike Drew Doughty. I dislike Drew Doughty. Well, one, for how overrated he is, correct, but also I dislike Drew Doughty for how good he thinks that Drew Doughty is. He is such a whiner.
Well, can you blame him though? He's been getting this his whole life. Everyone's you know what and his you know what's at all times. Someone keeps saying that about you. Eventually, you're gonna believe it yourself. Plus, you're a competitive player.
Right, but he doesn't even play on a good team anymore. Like,
oh no, he doesn't.
He sure does not. He doesn't play on a good team anymore. He just finds a way to complain about fucking everything, and always takes everything as like a sign of disrespect. He's just a deeply unhappy person right now, I think. Yeah, because he wants to win, and he has just turned into such a big baby.
Trade him to the Sabres and just make it a collection of people who are miserable, not being able to win on their bad team. And because it's the Sabres, they still won't win, even though they'll have Drew Doughty and Jack Eichel. This will be moot once the episode comes out, probably. But did you see the Kings are trying to trade to number one? I would hate that work so much.
For the league?
For me.
Yeah, same.
We've talked about, like, if the
Rangers are going to be very fun.
Right, like, if the Rangers made, like, 2 or 3 more moves, I think I would get Rangers season tickets and just, like, every now and then go to a game. Like, they would be, like, if also if I lived in New
irresponsible.
York. Right.
Yeah.
If I lived in New York, like, I wouldn't kick a Rangers. I don't know if they do, like, 10-game packs or something. I wouldn't kick a 10-game pack out, right?
Yeah, I feel like they don't do 10-game packs, though, because, like, there's no way the Rangers are struggling to fill that building.
Right. I'm trying to think, do the Bruins do 10-game packs? And they don't.
I don't think they do 10-game packs. They might do, like 3-game packs or something. They might do, like, those very little ones and then maybe half-season tickets.
I've never gone to a Rangers game as a spectator. Or I guess I was spectating, like, covering it. But, like, I've never, like, gone to Madison Square Garden, sat in the seats.
Yeah, I've never been to MSG at all.
Oh, I've been to a few concerts there. And have, like, covered games there. But
I've been to the old Barclays, but I have never been to MSG.
Yeah, I've been to Barclays too, and have never been to an Islanders game. We did talk about. We didn't come up on the last podcast, but cities where if for whatever reason you had to move there, whether it was like job, life, whatever, and in this hypothetical, you're working a 9 to 5 and you live in whatever city. What are the cities where you're like, you know what? I'm new here. Don't have friends, probably not going to make friends. I'm just going to adopt a sports team, get season tickets, and that'll be part of my experience here. I think that's an interesting conversation. I had a list of teams that I thought that worked with, but who knows where that list is now.
Like, I think in this discussion, it would have to be sort of like, there would have to be like availability. Like, it'd have to be like kind of like a casual thing.
Right. It's not like you're moving to Green
the
Bay
Chicago
and
Blackhawks.
Right.
Yeah. Because obviously I'd love to live in Chicago. I'd love to get, maybe not anymore, but like I would love to just like go to a Blackhawks game and get season tickets because like that obviously like they've got that allure.
I'll tell you though, if I'm living in Chicago, I'm not getting Blackhawks tickets though. Because Chicago,
there's so many things to do.
Right, because Chicago is the draw. One of the things you can do there is go to a Blackhawks game, but I don't know. Like,
so you're talking about like a market where like it's not the most appealing destination, I guess.
Where I mean, it can be cool enough. Like I think that Denver is a good example. Where like if you lived in Denver, it'd be pretty sick to have Avs tickets.
Hell yeah,
just because they're good.
Right. Yeah, I'd be down with that. I'd be down with like Columbus.
Right, Columbus would be great. Cool. I would say Canadian cities by and large are out.
Right, because that's all they have.
Right, because
that's all they have to live for.
Right. Oh, I would love to live in Toronto, have Leafs season tickets, go there, and like no Leafs garb, clearly not into the Leafs, not necessarily root against them, but just kind of like grin every time the Leafs screw up. I could do that.
That would be the most money well spent.
We could Photoshop that, like audience, like Leafs fans going nuts, and then just like one person in there, just like kind of smirking.
How about? Let me think. Well, Nashville would be a great one.
Yeah, Nashville.
Like, there's a lot of stuff to do in Nashville,
and because it's right downtown, like
right. And it's like you can go to the bars, just walk over to the stadium. It's a party inside the arena. That's definitely one that I would do. The Stars.
So Stars, I thought might come up. I think I'm probably not on the Stars.
Why not?
Although Dallas isn't that good a city, so that might be like that's something to do.
Right. That's
okay.
So I went down to Dallas a couple of years ago for like 2 nights, and we were just like, not much to do here. Let's just go to a Stars game, and we did. So I feel like that would be a regular occurrence.
And the Stars like put on a good game. Their in-house stuff is cool. Their
DJ
funny.
is the best in the league.
No, I would say the Capitals DJ is the best in the league.
No, man. The Stars DJ, I forget his. Is it like Groobs or something? He's like the funniest DJ in the league.
Okay, so I would say as far as music selection goes, I'm always blown away by the Capitals guy. Let's see. I'm running through the standings right now. Carolina, you know what? I'll say it. That whole thing has gotten annoying.
What, where they're like the up and coming, like sexy team?
Yeah, and like I like a lot of their players too, but it's I just need a little.
So they're like the Popeyes chicken sandwich for you,
right? Oh, I was gonna say Carolina is like the Vineyard Knights of NHL teams, where you're like, okay, this is cool and fun, but are we reaching a point where y'all are spamming us a little too much? Like would someone be within their rights if they were like, hey, Hurricanes, shut up?
What about Vegas? Do they count? Like, there's so much to do in Vegas, but
that sounds like something I would do. Like, live in Vegas, like this incredibly poppin' place where all this shit's going on,
and do nothing except go to a hockey game.
Sick.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that does sound like something I would do.
And I got some friends in that organization. Like, I'd if I lived in Vegas, I'd like to. Yeah, I'd probably play that card, try to get it to as many games as I could. And I mean, Vegas is a fun team to root for.
I'll tell you, the Florida Panthers would be a real win here because, I mean, they're in Sunrise, which
there's nothing around there though.
Like a strip mall, right? That's what I'm saying. Like you have to be a Panthers fan.
But I would
live there.
But you have to drive there, and it's like such a thing getting there. There's not going to be any traffic or anything because no one's going to those games.
Isn't that what we're talking about? Like, you live there.
So if I live in
Sunrise.
It's technically Sunrise, but I think isn't there like isn't Plantation the real city? I know it's Fort Lauderdale, but hold on. I used to have this map down like the back of my hand. It's like this little small area around. Yeah. So Plantation is like, I think, where you would live if you're going to.
How far away is it from Fort Lauderdale?
Maybe 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
All right.
It's hold on. I could be
disaster.
Wrong. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up this map. I used to take frequent trips to Sunrise. Let's see, Sunrise, Florida to Fort Lauderdale is 26 minutes.
That's a lot different than 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. But that's with traffic right now. So let's see what it is to Plantation.
Damn, that is
all right.
Tough.
So it's 10 minutes from Plantation, like 25 from Fort Lauderdale. And man, like there is just nothing around there. There's one outlet mall where I've done hella shopping, but I'll tell you, I would not be. I'm not including the Panthers in that in this discussion.
I thought that they would be that this was like if I lived there, if it took me like 15 minutes to get to the arena.
Yeah, you're like we can walk there, or whatever. Like no, like it's like off the highway. It's not. There's not like a scene over there.
There's nothing to do in Florida. There's nothing. I hate Florida. I really hate Florida. It's one of my least favorite states, unless we're talking like Disney World, which I feel like that doesn't count. But man, I've seen the Florida Panthers ticket packages. Those things are a fucking bargain.
It's like $40 for the year.
Yeah, we'll give you 40 games. You get a parking spot. You get 2 jerseys. You can get like a bunch of coupons for concessions.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like, and it's all like for like $100.
We should do as we do shitty NHL content, we should do a ranking of like best bargain for season ticket packages around the league, because I feel like you can find some crazy ones. Although this year is probably going to be a weird year to do it, because who knows if they're going to have people there. I mean, this team is too good, but Lightning would be an obvious one. Like, I would happily live in Tampa and have Lightning tickets. They put on a cool show. The tailgate
Their
situation
nice
outside
too.
Rocks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the
they've got like a big old plaza,
but like the party before the game is really happening.
Emily's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool scene down there. And like, depending on the year, Channel Side is great or completely a ghost town. But if you catch it on a good year, it's business is booming down there, and it's a really cool place. Let's see. Minnesota, no. Oh my God, no. Just because that team.
I mean, I would say yes, but like, I feel like that doesn't count because like Minnesota loves hockey.
Right. I think that's the end of the list.
Casual.
I think that's the end of the list.
Because there's so many Canadian teams where they're just like don't count.
Yeah, like
I would put I think like at the top of the list I would put like Columbus and like Nashville.
Yeah,
although the Preds are so popular now that like that might be harder to get. It's not a casual experience.
Right. Avalanche come to mind first, but I don't know. I've never been to Colorado before. You ever been to Colorado?
I've been there on like a stop. But
like
it seems like a great state. Yeah, for like a day.
Oh, okay. My map of places I've been multiple times versus places I've been 0 times is probably the most ridiculous anyone could have. Like I've never been to California.
That's wild.
Yeah. Been to what wild travels of this guy. Hey, Thursday we're doing a stream, and it's gonna rule.
It's gonna be a dream. It's a dream stream.
Sega Dream stream. We are going to stream ourselves watching the Bucks and Bears at 8:20. We can show the game, so it's going to be amazing. If you follow me outside of the podcast, you might be aware, not so hot on Tom Brady these last couple of years, and watching him go against a really good defense should be a blast.
Not only that, like the Bears are just like a disaster too, where like you never know what you're going to get.
I know
from that team.
I wish Trubisky was still starting for them. He actually wasn't playing bad, but they were like, just you've sucked for your entire career. Get out of here.
Yeah, it was like I don't understand why teams do that. Where like they obviously made him the quarterback just to like expecting him to fail, and they're like, as soon as he fails, we'll say that we tried. We'll put him on the bench,
right?
And then like. I mean, he obviously failed, but like they were 2-0, and then they benched him.
Yeah,
it was fucking wild.
Yeah, although it did lead to a hilarious comeback against who else but the Atlanta Falcons, because when they benched him, Nick Foles came in, threw 3 touchdowns. It was a big ole party.
Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons for finally not blowing a lead this week. Because they never had one.
That's right. Oh my! Their jerseys suck.
They are so bad.
Those are the worst jerseys. And I'll tell you what, teams changed their jerseys this offseason. Like the Patriots, not very good. Browns,
trash.
Browns, I thought were overrated. Rams were the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And I'll tell you what, I think they're still pretty trash. The Rams ones have grown on me, and I much prefer them to the Falcons jerseys.
At least they're like they've got some character and personality to them, even though I kind of hate the character and personality.
Oh, yeah. Their colors are
it's not
gray,
it's not somebody
yellow.
that I want to hang out with, but like at least I'll remember them. The Falcons ones are just as generic as you could possibly have.
They're like Boston University hockey jerseys with how big it says ATL on the front. Oh, I think they're terrible.
They're
horrible.
Real bad.
Although
that franchise, I said it last night during the game, but like I feel like that franchise just needs to take a breather, sit out a couple of years, get its bearings, and come back. Not even like tank and blow it up. Just go away for 2 years, think about what you've done, and then come back, try again in a few years.
Which sucks because they still have a really good quarterback. Like, I feel bad for Matt Ryan.
I would say that Matt Ryan deserves better, but like, does he? I don't know. I feel like Matt Ryan is like a borderline fraud himself.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
he's really
I think
good.
So.
I lost my mind. Jason LaCanfora tweeted last night, is Matt Ryan Eli Manning without the trophies? And I was like, what does this mean in so many ways? Because, like, are you suggesting that Matt Ryan's good and that Eli's also good? Or are you suggesting that, like,
they're both bad?
That they're both bad, which, I mean, when you compare someone to Eli, in my mind, I initially take it as you're saying they're bad because Eli was bad. But like, Matt Ryan
like,
is a million times better.
The difference there is that Eli has had so many more bad games than Matt Ryan. Like, there are just days where Eli never had it. It just looked totally awful. But like, Matt Ryan has really good days that he fucks up by making just absolute boneheaded mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still take.
I would take Matt Ryan for sure.
Goofball Eli Manning. Like, if the Patriots, I do this too much, but if the Patriots had Matt Ryan this year, like, what are they? Probably undefeated. Yeah, they beat because they beat Miami. They everyone was all psyched that Cam threw for
but I don't know though,
the Seahawks, but everybody throws for a ton against the Seahawks. So Matt Ryan, who throws like 500 yards a game just anyway, would have gone the hell off against the Seahawks.
But like, without targets and like good receivers, does Matt Ryan throw for that much? True. Like, I think that like having Cam is sort of better for the Patriots this year because he's that sort of like dynamic threat.
Oh, you know, Cam is 100% all the Patriots offense is.
Right.
Like, he is their
If that
offense
wasn't evidently clear before Monday night, it sure is now. But I cannot believe, I do not, because Brian Hoyer sucks ass, and he has sucked ass for years.
I feel bad for people who suck.
Okay, fair. I mean, if that's the way you want to go with it.
I pray for Greta Van Fleet every day, Pete.
Okay, fair. If that's the way you want to go for it, but like, I was just gonna, like, I wasn't gonna say that I feel bad for Brian Hoyer, because I think that, like, it's not what he like deserves, but like, you're in the league, and if you're a backup quarterback and that they call on you to play, so it's gonna happen when you're Brian Hoyer.
2 trips to the red zone, 0 points. Oh.
And not just the fact that they got 0 points. It wasn't like somebody else fucked up and Brian Hoyer can be like, damn. I wish that we got some points.
He was airmailing every pass. Every pass was like 15 feet
and
high.
The only reason that like he was chosen over Stidham presumably is because he's got the experience and he's like the veteran guy who's not going to make these absolutely boneheaded mistakes.
Right.
Like running around on 3rd down and losing like fucking 15 yards.
Right.
When the clock is about to run out, when you have no timeouts.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, our the way Hoyer has been described a lot, like around Boston, is like, well, he's not going to do anything exciting. He is 10-2, drive the car real slow,
right,
and hope it gets there. So someone, I forget who, but one of my coworkers had said that before the show, like the hope with Brian Hoyer is, hey, he's 10-2. He's just it's gonna be a steady ride, and you just hope there aren't many bumps. And after we were like, he crashed the car.
Yes,
that was not 10-2.
Right? No, that and like the entire like the thesis around Brian Hoyer is that like if the rest of the team plays well enough, he can put you in a position to win you the game, but he is not going to win you the game himself. So like that's like the 10-2 mentality. Everybody else sort of played well enough to give the Patriots a shot to win that game against the Chiefs, which, by the way, I mean, I never thought they'd be in a position to win that game, which makes it 1,000 times more frustrating that Brian Hoyer was somehow the guy who managed to completely fuck it up for everybody else.
Yeah, I wrote that after the game. Like, if you were to say in a season in which we've decided we're doing moral victories,
yeah,
like, hey, you didn't give Patrick Mahomes shit for 3 quarters. You hung in there against Patrick Mahomes. And then fourth quarter, Chiefs ended up doing their thing. You lose by a couple of scores. Like, that should be a moral victory. But then you actually see it in action, and you're like, oh, my God.
You see it in action, and then you, like, start to tally up the points that they left on the board and, like, the points that they were kind of screwed out of by that horrible officiating call.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, if they had even played 50% better, they might have won this game.
Yeah. So we'll be streaming some football on Thursday night, and that's going to be a lot of fun. One thing we could do during it. So you asked about how Vineyard Nights was doing. Spotify gives you like all these analytics, and
I was going to ask, like, do you know how well it's doing?
Yes. So as far as like sales go, it didn't really sell anything because I didn't want to be like, hey,
give me some money.
Give me money.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know.
We're saving that energy for TCL.
Exactly. But some people did buy it on Bandcamp, and I was very appreciative of that. I've told you, like, my goal with any like music stuff I do is for it to be a self-sustainable hobby where I can, if I want to make shit, then like the thing I made before can pay for the thing I made next. But that might be ambitious because music just doesn't really work that way. But yeah, I can see the streams and stuff on Spotify, which that doesn't. Speaking of money, that doesn't equal anything. But I do want people streaming it. Like I want people streaming it. I want people sharing it. Like I want to see. Like it shows you maps of like where people are listening and stuff. And I don't know. Like I'm interested in that.
I want to know what's the most popular Vineyard Nights track.
2 of them are neck and neck. Let me pull it up. The first 2 are neck and neck.
Interesting.
So the first one is at 3,699 streams as of this moment. That's 248. And 240 is at 3,694. So sometimes, which is interesting because sometimes 240 is up by quite a bit. But yeah, so like I'm looking into like how apparently the big thing is getting it on playlists, getting it on like curated playlists, getting it on like Discover Weekly playlists or whatever. And I don't know how to do that. I watched a video on it. Like I don't know. But all the musicians I follow, whenever they have shit out, they're like, please stream this. So the more streams it gets, the more likely it is to wind up on a playlist or whatever. So an idea I had for, and I don't know, if this feels cheap, then maybe we won't do it. But an idea I had was Thursday, while we're doing the football stream, like say at the start of the second quarter or whatever, we do a Vineyard Nights Power Hour. And that's where anyone who's watching on whatever device or whatever, just put on Vineyard Nights on a loop for an hour. And if enough people do that, then it's a couple thousand more streams, and then who knows? But I don't know. Like I don't know how to use Spotify or whatever, but I just I want it to wind up somewhere where like people outside of my actual circle are listening to it. Like I don't know how many people who don't actually know me have heard it. And I think it would be cool to expand it so like a random ass person in wherever could be like, hey, I saw this on a playlist and I'm gonna check it out. So yeah, I think that could be an easy enough thing. It's the concept for it is stolen from Wolfpack's classic Sleepify album, which they had everyone stream overnight, and it was just silence, and then people streamed it for like a week overnight, and then they put on a free tour. Pretty rad. Anyway, yeah. People have asked about Vineyard Nights merch. I have ordered you and Feidelberg some Vineyard Nights merch, and I think we're going to put it in the brunch store if anyone wants to get that. But I want to keep the Vineyard Nights merch lean. Like, I don't want it to look like we're just like doing some sort of money grab here. I want it to be like, this is like a cool item that suits the Vineyard Nights thing. So there's one t-shirt that I think looks really good with a jean jacket, and I'm a big jean jacket guy this season. And then there's a hat that looks like the Beach Road Weekend hat that I wore throughout the pandemic and wear pretty much every second of my life. So we'll let you know if we end up tossing some merch in the store. But yeah, stream it, share it, do whatever. I mean, keep memeing it. If you like it, spread it around, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe at some point I'll make some more stuff if people liked it. But
you're encouraging people to be super spreaders.
Yes, be super spreaders. Yeah, for now, let's just we're living in a Vineyard Nights world. So very cool. Did you see Schitt's Creek last night?
I did. I caught it. I caught it on the tube.
Do they censor it? The name, or do they not say it?
No, they don't. They don't censor it.
Word. Is it on after 10? Or do they just say like, hey, we're saying shit, like SCHITT?
SCHITT.
No harm, no foul. Okay, I like that.
And like they're the guy in the town who like owns the town, his last name is Schitt.
Oh, no shit.
Rollin' Schitt.
Rollin' Schitt?
Yeah.
That's his name?
Yep.
That's not bad. You mentioned TCL. This was one of my notes for today. Do we still care about TCL? Because I do.
I do. I think that they've teased us enough back where like,
yeah, they're TCL.
Yeah. I like they're keeping me in. I'm not out on them yet. Like if they had just ignored us, I'd have been like, all right, fuck them. But they're playing along, and I think that maybe we can get somewhere.
Right. Oh shit! I do have one more Vineyard Nights note. How do we get Vineyard Nights performed at Beach Road Weekend? And is like the move to make a for your consideration type submission like people do with award shows?
I think so. Absolutely.
Okay.
You have to put it together like this really like well produced thing for the Beach Road Weekend board of directors.
Right. Kind of like a
pitch.
Yeah, like what are the videos they do? What are the videos they would do at the beginning of like Real World or Road Rules or whatever? They'd show like
the audition videos,
and then it's like, oh yeah, look, man, I'm just a bit of a flirt. My friends all call me dumb, like shit like that.
I'll have sex with you and then I'll rip your head off. I'm the sweetest thing you'll ever see.
God,
yeah,
that's
Sammy.
Sammy?
JWoww? One of the two.
I think JWoww would probably be doing the talk about ripping someone's head off.
You should do a Shark Tank spoof, and you should have like influencers of the vineyard, and it'll be like Paul Samuel Dolman, Larry, and then
we should tell Paul Samuel Dolman to share it with his with any vineyard higher ups he knows.
Yeah, I mean, he's a music guy.
That is true. Oh, and yes, you'd be like, hey, could you send this to any of your friends on the vineyard and also to David Foster?
Right.
Thank you.
No, you should do like a Shark Tank thing where you're like you spoof it and you're pitching Vineyard Nights to be at Beach Road Weekend. And you're like, hey Sharks, I'm DJ Bean and I've never been to the vineyard, but here's the thing. I have this EP.
Are there sharks in the vineyard?
Yeah, there are.
Are there?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's sharks at the Cape. Why wouldn't there be sharks?
Well, I know there's sharks in the Cape. All people talk about with the Cape is like ice cream, drugs, and sharks. Those are the
in
three.
That order.
Yeah, and fried food. Right?
And baseball.
Cape League baseball. Hell yeah. Let's get Vineyard Nights to be the official theme of Cape League baseball. And then when they're like, yeah, I'd be like, okay, have you considered, though, being like a more interesting sport?
It's like, I'm not missing these Vineyard Nights because baseball's so boring. I wish you played another sport.
Did you watch the Howmouth stream?
I did not.
Howmouth did a stream on Saturday night, and it was the best, and it made me miss concerts so much. They played at a national park or something near where they live, and it was great. And over the course of the performance, like the sun set and it became dark, and that in particular is what made me miss concerts so much. Like being at an outdoor concert when it goes from light to dark and you just get that, like,
well, that's my favorite part of a music festival.
Kind of feeling.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of a music festival is like when, I think that's the best spot to be. I don't know if we've had this discussion before, but like when the sun starts to go down and you're like the last two billings before like the headliner, that is the sweet spot.
Yes. Yeah. Those, I very much agree. But it was great. They sounded awesome. Played some of their new stuff. It was an absolute party. Did you watch you didn't. You didn't watch the South Park Pandemic special.
I did not. Did you?
I did. It was the first time I watched South Park in, oh my gosh, so long. I saw there was like during the pandemic, there was like a South Park marathon, and I kept my eye on that, watched a bunch of episodes there. But other than that, I have not really done South Park regularly in, honestly, probably like 15 years, something. That they're in their something like their 24th, 25th, 26th season. Yeah, they did a pandemic special, and there was a lot of hype about it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this shit, and it was pretty funny. There were some storylines going on that seems like maybe you had to watch South Park these days to understand what the hell they were talking about.
Okay.
Like Randy Marsh sells weed now.
Okay.
I thought he was he's a geologist, I think, in the last I'd known of Randy Marsh. Although over the course of that show, they really turned Randy Marsh into a bit of a wild child.
He's becomes like a caricature of what he started as.
Yeah, I mean, he was just kind of like he was like the Stu Pickles of South Park. And then over the course of time, they just made that guy wild and crazy kid. But yeah, it got me rewatching whatever South Park episodes are available on demand. And let me tell you, some classic eps there. I watched the one. Do you ever see the one with the future selves?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't remember any like individual South Park episodes.
Were you ever a South Park guy? No.
Yeah. I watched it like back in the day, but that was like 15 years ago, and I don't remember like specific episodes really.
Yeah, I remember South Park's prime as being whenever like Scotty Tenorman Must Die or Scott Tenorman Must Die, whatever the one is where the kid sells Cartman his pubes and then Cartman gets back at him by killing his parents.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say, like, if there's one episode that I can remember, it's that one or the Michael Jackson one.
Oh, the Michael Jackson one's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the people consider the parents one. I think that's like considered the best South Park episode.
It is just an unbelievable. Like,
and do you know how it? Do you remember how it? Like, really ends?
It's like there's a chili competition.
He has a chili con carnival.
Yeah, and he feeds the kid his parents.
But what's the icing on the cake?
And the pubes are in it.
Nope.
What is it? I forget.
Radiohead is that kid's favorite band, and Cartman arranges for Radiohead to be there. So the kid finds out that his parents died, and he's crying and he's a mess. And then Radiohead walks in, and they're like, "Look at this crybaby. Are you gonna cry all day, crybaby?" And then he's like, wait, Radiohead. And they're like, we all got problems. You don't have to be a crybaby about it. And they're like, this kid's fucking lame, and they leave.
That is horrible.
Oh, yeah. That's
the best.
Then, I don't know, it probably like zooms in on Cartman being like the most evil person in the world. But yeah.
Love it.
That's South Park talk. What else we got?
I wanted to talk about those old McDonald's collaborations that we keep seeing.
Oh yeah, holy smokes!
So obviously there was the Travis Scott one that came out first, which like kind of cool commercials. McDonald's trying to get in like the hip
Smart
game
all around. Yeah. Reaching kids.
I digged it. I thought that it was kind of neat to see what Travis Scott likes to order at McDonald's, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a second one, and I gotta tell you, no idea who the fuck this guy is.
You were like, let's talk about the McDonald's stuff. I was like, oh right, because they did another one, and you were like, with who? And I was like, don't know who he is. And you looked him up, and you were like, I don't know who that is.
I've literally never seen that name in my life.
I just looked up the pronunciation of his name. What is it? J Balvin.
Sure.
I mean, he's popular enough that McDonald's is partnering with
right,
him. But
like to go like McDonald's is doing this thing where they're going to do like a different artist every month or something, and to go from Travis Scott to this guy like in month 2, it seems like they're kind of already digging.
Yeah,
like McDonald's has enough money to go like, oh, we got Travis Scott. Okay, let's go to like Chance the Rapper. What's Chance the Rapper's go-to meal? But they went to this guy who I have no idea who he is.
But I mean, you can't. I mean, McDonald's might go broke if you're going like Travis Scott, Ariana Grande.
Let me tell you, McDonald's ain't going to go broke.
That's true. So, I mean, this guy is considered, he's been referred to as the Prince of Reggaeton, and is one of the best-selling Latin music artists with more than 35 million records, albums, and singles worldwide.
So he just has like a different demographic.
Right. So he's clearly a huge, massive artist.
As long as he's not like a TikTok guy.
Right. Although now Fleetwood Mac is popular again.
That's true. TikTok band.
I don't know. I'm always okay with like however people find out about music, it's okay. Like I know people will be like, "Oh, you only know this song because it was in Rock Band." Pathetic. It's like, well, they had to fucking learn it somehow. Just shut up, you know?
Right. At the end of the day, as long as you appreciate good music, no matter how you came across it, like, who gives a shit?
Right. So people were mad, or not people mad, but like they're like, it really takes TikTok for kids to know Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Pathetic. And I'm like, why was a child going to know Dreams by Fleetwood Mac? Shut up.
It's like, unless they put it in fucking Fortnite, the kid's probably not going to find it. So as long as they're finding it somehow, and if the TikTok is the way you got to do it, then so be it. But yeah, I mean, this guy, not only did I not know who he was, his McDonald's meal, his collab is so boring.
What is it?
It is, it's a Big Mac with no pickles, a medium fry, and like a Diet Coke.
Oh,
it's the most basic fucking meal that you could ever ask for. And also, like, why would you want to take the pickles away from the Big Mac? That is
right.
You want that in there.
What would your McDonald's collab be?
I said this on Twitter the other night, but I was like, 2 double cheeseburgers, a small fry, a hash brown, some Marlboro Reds, and you have to eat it in the parking lot right after you pull out of the drive-thru.
In the car, yeah. That's where I would say 95% of the fast food I've consumed in my life has been in the parking lot right next to the drive-thru.
Yep.
Facing away.
Yeah, of course.
Like that
of shame.
Right, like that helps.
Yeah.
Because you're just facing something else. Mine would either be the 2 cheeseburger meal, or a quarter pounder with cheese meal. Was it on the podcast or IRL that we were saying that like the quarter pounder with cheese is as good as you're going to get fast food wise?
I can't remember if that was in real life or not, but like I disagree. I disagree with that. I had a quarter pounder like pretty recently, and I was not blown away. Like I think that if you're going to get off like the meal menu, that's still probably the best way you can go. But there's something about those double cheeseburgers that hit different for me.
The important thing with my meal would be, and I don't necessarily know if I should be holding McDonald's guilty for this, but Burger King definitely does it. It would have a large fry and then either a medium fry or a second large fry. I don't know if McDonald's does this, but Burger King does not give you a lot of fries. And I'm like, yo, this is fast food. We're supposed to be getting crazy here.
I think McDonald's is pretty generous with their fries. I think that their cartons are like pretty big.
Right. So that's why I was a little hesitant to say that McDonald's would be guilty of doing that. Yeah, they're I mean, I haven't gotten a large fry from McDonald's in forever, but Burger King, I'll tell you, they give you like nothing.
Burger King, gross, trash.
Yeah, Burger King,
trash.
Pretty much big trash.
My house has a 24 at McDonald's, a Wendy's, which I'm going to make a stop at Wendy's pretty soon for that bacon pub pretzel cheeseburger.
Oh,
that thing looks delicious. I'm about to hit that up real soon. But I also have a Popeyes that just opened down the street, and they had to have a police detail for the opening of the Popeyes because there was such a long line for the chicken sandwich, I'm assuming. So I went today and I got 2 of the chicken sandwiches. I got a regular one and I got a spicy one. And I have now become the last person on earth to try the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Just fine, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It was totally fine.
Yeah. It's basically what I expected. People went fucking crazy for it. Not sure why, but like it's really good. And it's not like blow your socks off good, but it's like Popeye's chicken inside a bun with some nice sauce, a couple pickles. It's just what I want from a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, Wendy's a million times better.
Disagree.
Chick-fil-A 10 million times better.
Disagree. Well, I think that like I would say that Chick-fil-A and the Popeyes one are pretty neck and neck.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was good. And I think that the spicy one, maybe it's just my personal taste. I thought that the spicy chicken sandwich was better than the regular one.
Oh yeah, no one cares about the regular one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It was just about the spicy one. People were going all bonkers, and when I went, I also got 2. I think I got one with like extra sauce in one with the normal amount of sauce, because I was like, I want to give this every benefit of the doubt, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. I think that if the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich had the Popeyes bun, because I think Popeyes is on a brioche bun, right?
It's real good. It was
right,
like
it's like
very. I don't know. I don't think it's brioche. Is it brioche? I don't know, but it was like very buttery.
Right,
it's like the buttery bread.
Right. That's what Chick-fil-A does too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not worth the police whatever it is. Police
deconstruction.
Yes. Police defund.
I was gonna say someone's gonna make a defund joke. Yeah, I was not impressed.
I mean, like, I'll be back there to get it. I'll say that.
I'll have another one
down the street. It's right down the street. I like chicken sandwiches. I'm gonna get one of them chicken sandwiches again pretty soon.
Do you have a Chick-fil-A near you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, the move is getting that Chick-fil-A. I had real ice cream for the first time in a while recently. That was awesome.
What'd you eat?
Tonight Dough starring Jimmy Fallon.
That's your go-to.
Classic.
Yeah.
That is my classic. I've been doing so much Nick's light Swedish ice cream.
Interesting.
And it's good. It's fine. It's solid. But like, and you're like, oh, this tastes like ice cream. This is fine. And then you get into like a real ass ice cream, and you're like, oh no, this is what fucking ice cream is.
Oh, so party. Wait. So the guy, Jay Balvin or whatever it is, his drink is an Oreo McFlurry.
Oh, tight. I
think that makes it a little bit better. So it's like a Big Mac with no pickles, medium fry, and an Oreo McFlurry.
I don't think McDonald's does milkshakes anymore.
I don't think so.
Burger King does. And that holds at least one trump card for Burger King, because when I do fast food, if available, I do like to get a milkshake. It
does like warm my heart. There's something about like a place that just is like, we got burgers and milkshakes. That just like warms my heart, because it's just like such a throwback, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that my meal would be probably 2 cheeseburger meal. But yeah, 2 cheeseburger meal, large fry, milkshake.
I feel like you regret the milkshake 80% of the time. I mean, like, it's so good, but like you eat the burger and then you've obviously finished the milkshake last, and you're like, oh, I definitely didn't need that milkshake.
No, I've changed, or I've lived enough to know, like, hey, going into the milkshake, it's a bad idea. Whatever. So I'm more like I'm more angry when I start to do the milkshake, and then happy after, because I got all those bad vibes out of the way, kicking myself for making the decision in the first place. And then after, you're like, yo, that milkshake tasted so fucking good. That's how I go about it.
It's a better alternative to the way that I approach it, where I'm just like, God damn it, I definitely didn't need that milkshake, and now I feel like shit.
I don't really kick myself over food stuff, and I've got a pretty weird relationship with food, but I don't really kick myself over food decisions much anymore. Like I've been doing Weight Watchers for a little bit now, and if I have a day where I kind of go off the rails, the next morning I don't wake up like, oh, you fucking idiot. I'm just like, yo, had some fun last night. Now let's get back on track. It's weird. It's like the only thing in my life that I don't melt down over.
Hell yeah. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. The Coyotes are going to the Kachina for... Ooh. Oh yeah, so they're wearing them as they're all their home games, so their primary jersey next year.
Sweet.
That is awesome. Hell yeah.
Good.
Great news. A lot of good jersey news this hockey offseason so far already.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the Flames thing. Everyone's hella horny for that.
Your boy sort of broke that news.
Who?
Me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had the old Petey had it first.
Hell yeah! Congratulations.
I mean, it was basically like everybody kind of knew it already, but I had the old hashtag sources confirm.
Okay, that's still a thing. Did you?
Yeah.
How did you find the breaking news experience to be? Change your life?
No, it didn't change my life, but it was like very cool to see people get excited. I'm glad that I was able to. I'm not a breaking news guy. I don't particularly have a lot of interest in being a breaking news guy, but like when it's a little something that everybody's kind of excited to see, I'm happy to deliver that for you.
So I found breaking news is a fun feeling when you do it, but by and large nobody cares. You know?
Yeah. Like nobody gives a shit that like you were the person that broke the news. So like that's why
it's just the news is here now. Now let's all do what we're gonna do with it.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I wasn't like, guys, I have a scoop. I was just like, hey, some good news. The Flames are moving back to that to the old retro look next season full time.
Yeah,
and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, if I would break something, people would just take the news and run with it. My boss would send an email to like the other bosses being like, DJ broke a story. Let's all say good job. And
that's so annoying.
Like that was it.
I hate that.
And I was like, man, it's so weird because you want to
be good at your job, but you don't want. I feel like I wouldn't want people to be like, please clap for Pete.
But it's weird. Story. Like that should seem like a pretty big part of the job. So I found it weird how just no one really. I don't know. I guess it depends. Like if you're there are people now that are like their job is to break news, like the Bob McShams of the world,
like Shams, just breaking
fucking Shams, dude.
Well, yeah, I know that bothers you.
Fuck. It's fucking Shams.
Sorry that I ruined your day.
You did. It bums me out so much. This guy brings us so much stuff, and nobody even wants to fucking say his name right. No one cares enough about him to say his name right. It's Shams. And if that...
Sorry, Shams.
If this could touch one listener, I
to
hope
be fair, I also pronounce Waj.
Do you know how to say...
I fuck that up too. It's Woj.
Do you know how to say his last name?
Wojnarowski?
No.
Wojnarowski?
Nope.
How do I say it?
Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski?
Yep, and the way I remember it is Wojnarowski. I hardly know her. But yeah, it's Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski.
So no one says anyone's names right anymore.
I feel better. I feel better about that. That I fucked up both of them. Just an equal opportunity failure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we've podcasted long enough. Good night.